していつも同じ場所で死ぬ諦めずに消えるや瞬間に挑戦するけどすぐに下に落ちるよアイテムにゴムがあれば楽に向こうの岸まで高くけど何回やっても何回やっても何回やってもよけれない後ろに回って打ち続けてもいずれは風に飛ばされるタイムレーンでも試してみたけど竜巻相手じゃ意味がないだから次は絶対勝つために僕はいいガンだけは最後まで取っておく少ししかないそしていつもそこで時間使う諦めずにエアマンまでたどり着くけれどすぐに短気なくなるリーフシールドがあれば楽にエアマンを倒せるけど何回やっても何回やってもダメに倒せないよ落ちるこの葉は何回やっても後ろに下がって距離を取ってもいずれは距離を詰められるタイムランでも試してみたけどあいつのジャンプは出らないだから次は絶対勝つために僕はいいガンだけは最後まで取っておく国向こうの岸まで続くけど何回やっても何回やってもアーメンへ倒せないよあの竜巻何回やってもよけれない後ろに回って打ち続けてもいずれは風に飛ばされるタイムランでも試してみたけど竜巻相手じゃ意味がないだから次は絶対勝つために僕はいいガンだけは最後まで取っておく
Sound resumed.
Welcome everybody to the Imperial Championship Series. This is Blue here, joined tonight by our league commissioner Swifter, and do we have ourselves a game of the ages? It is Imperial Titans against number 2 team Imperial Crown. How's it going, Swift?
Going pretty good. I'm really psyched for this game. This is kind of the game that everyone's been anticipating. The series that everyone wanted was Crown versus Titans. Both these teams really get along with each other. They're close friends. They scrim a lot. So it'll be fun to see who actually ends up on top at the end of all of this.
So really, I think the picks to watch for in this game is we're going to be looking for the Rumble in the Jungle coming out from Patchling. We're going to see Poodoo on something a little different in the jungle. Hopefully he doesn't go back to those Elise, or I think Lee Sin is another one of the big picks for Poodoo in the jungle. But really, I want to see a lot of these different picks coming out. I really enjoy how these teams can have a good time on off-meta picks and still make a really competitive game out of it.
Yeah, if you're wondering about the bans for the Gragas and Janna, those are purely target bans. Gragas is Pudu's best jungler, obviously because Gragas is back in the meta. Pudu's been playing a lot of that, so that's a target ban. Then Janna is just really taking away Sailor Venus's one of her better supports. Obviously, she still has the Alistar she can go to. We'll see if that gets taken here to deny Sailor completely, but she does have that Alistar. Then on the other side, the Zac, the Yasuo, and the Morgana. These are bans that are probably going to stay consistent through the whole entire series.
Yeah, it's really interesting that they're going to let the Morgana go, or not give Echo the Morgana. I mean, I understand that he can play it fairly well, but it's still sort of odd since that is one of Sailor Venus's better champs. That being said, they do happen to leave the Kog'Maw open for this first pick, and there's so many other big-name picks open for the Titans right now. For this first pick for Crown, obviously they're just hovering this. I'm pretty sure it's a troll for the Shaco hover. But really, they have so many big picks. They have the Nautilus top is still left up, especially if they're going against this Kog'Maw. They still have the Udyr for the jungle. They have a Shyvana for counter for Kog'Maw. They have Rammus, and they have that Poppy. That is one of Clanon's top champions right now, and I'm glad they took it away from him.
Yeah, and as you said, they left the Nautilus up. Nautilus is just so strong right now, especially when he gets that Sunfire, gets that ZZ Rot. He automatically pushes lane all the time with his E. He just auto-pushes. Then you have a ZZ Rot on top of that. It's a lot to handle. He has some of the highest base damages. Actually, I think he has the highest base damages of all tanks. So he's just a really, really strong champion right now in the meta. Then the Poppy, most likely going to jungle. Might go to Sailor Venus, but most likely going in the jungle for Pudu. We've seen him play it before. Again, another really strong champion. If you can get the combo down from Poppy, that 6 seconds DC chain, she is just undeniable right now.
Most definitely. And we see the hover here. I've heard Clanon talk about this. The Kennen in the top lane. It is locked in. This should be interesting. I really don't know. Since they lock in the Shen with it, it's sort of bringing out a different composition. I'm not sure if they're going to be sending the Shen into the support role or if it will go into the top lane. It is so dominant right now in the top lane. Even after the changes, they were supposed to make him less of a lane bully. He is the same, if not more so now than he was before. With the massive amount of heals that he's able to get back from the queue, it's just absolutely insane how much pressure he can put out.
Yeah, I'm going to be actually, I'm going to actually be really excited to see where this Kennen does end up. Is he going to the top lane? Maybe KRP will bring out the Kennen, or will it go more in the top lane and then they put the Shen on the support? It will be interesting to see here. Crown really waiting down this time to get their last 2 picks. They're trying to think hard about these ones. You do see the Kalista and the Elise come out. Kalista, obviously really strong AD carry right now. Swift has played her before. I'm excited to see how well he'll do on the Kalista and who they pick up for support.
So I really think that this is going to be a Nautilus support. I really feel that Merch is going to do well on Poppy in the top lane. They're going to send Nautilus support because that's just a huge tanky duo down there. It's a perfect target in order to Fate's Call and throw into the enemy team. And it can absolutely dominate. However, they have to round out this composition with some damage. Right now, they're really going for a late game. They have 0 burst, and they have a huge target right now, 2 bursts, with Detritus playing that Kog'Maw. Right now, they are hovering over the Azir for Holy KRP, and this has been one of his best champions. Holy KRP is, I believe, the number 5 ranked Azir in the world. I mean, why do you not? You have to play something in order to help counter the mid lane.
Yeah, especially because Ibis's best champion is actually his Azir as well. I'm surprised they didn't grab the Azir earlier for him. Now, I guess they do want that mid counter pick, and if Nautilus is going to support, that's what they're going to get right here. But how really do you counter KRP's Azir? You've got to just take it away from him, make sure that he doesn't get it. But yeah, I do agree with you. It does look like Nautilus is going to go support. We will see with this last pick. But I think they're trying to give Ibis that counter pick. The only thing I can think that he'll go on is the Ahri, because Ahri does decently well against Azir, or he might go into Victor, and then it will just really be a farm lane for the 2 mid laners.
Yeah, I really think Ari is definitely a decent choice into this. There's really not a whole lot of solid counters unless they wanted to go for maybe like a more longer range with like a Lux. Oriana is definitely going to have a very difficult time into this Azir. Ibis is really going to have to step up his game this first round if he wants to stand toe-to-toe with KRP in the mid lane. He went ahead and grabbed that cleanse spell right off the bat because he's really going to be expecting a lot of lockdown, and there is a lot of lockdown on the side of Imperial Crown. They don't exactly have the highest damage, but they have a pretty crazy team fight to boot.
Yeah, I think another thing that you gotta watch out for is the pick coming from Crown. They obviously, they have that Nautilus, they have the Elise, and they have the Poppy. They can pick you off really, really well. And if I were Titans, you want to fight in open spaces. You don't want to get caught in the jungle. You don't want to get caught in these closed areas where Oriana can get a lot of damage down. You're stuck in there with a Nautilus. It's not a fun spot. However, you get out in the open. You get Azir to do his damage. You get Kennen getting his damage down. Then obviously Braum and Kog'Maw, such a strong combo just because Kog'Maw can get that Braum passive off within, a second or two because of his rapid attack speed. So it would be really interesting. I don't know who I'd give the edge to. What about you? Who would you give the edge to for Champ Select?
So overall, it's really tough because there is a lot of overpowered picks on the side of Titans. They do have the Kog'Maw. They're going to have this Azir, which is going to... It's really KRP on Azir, which makes it an OP pick. Somewhat untested right now is Kennen in the top lane. There's been some really big claims on the way that he can play Kennen in this game. I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I believe top lane will definitely be interesting fight with a ranged mage going up against Merch's Poppy. I think he's going to have a pretty tough time. Overall, giving away the picks, it's really tough to say. I believe they have a lot of big picks on blue team, and they have a solid team on red, so I can't give it either way.
Yeah, I really agree. It's hard to see who has the better pick ban. I think it will come down to execution in game. Now, one thing, unless I don't know if Clannon, you have the inside track. I don't know if Clannon's going to do the AD Kennen or whether he'll go AP. But obviously, if he does go AP, you're looking at a ton of AP damage. Even Kog'Maw does a lot of AP damage himself. Then you've got Shen, who's base AP. You've got Azir. It's just a lot of AP damage. So you got to wonder if they do the AD Kennen or if they do the AP Kennen. And on Crown's side, if they do choose to go with the AP Kennen, how do you build? Do you build just the full MR? But you're kind of at risk if that Kog'Maw gets fed. So it'll be a question of builds. I think that will be a really big thing for on the side of Crown, how they itemize against this mainly magic damage team on the side of Titans. And for Titans, they've got a good mix of all the damages on Crown's side. So I think the builds will be pretty standard coming out from Titans.
Maybe standard. However, I do believe you highlighted a really great point. For the side of Crown, they can very easily itemize against this team. When you have all magic damage, right now there is very good items in the meta in order to counter this. Not only that, but the ZZ rots that are going to be coming out of Imperial Crown is going to be ridiculous. I could foresee 2, maybe even 3 ZZ rots coming out of this team right now. And they really don't have a massive amount of wave clear on the side of Titans. That really could play a big factor in this game when you start to think about that. Not only that, but they don't have a lot of shred. The only shred is going to be coming from Detritus. Once he is down, all we are looking for is that Sailor Venus ult to go on top of him and just 1 or 2 members to single him out, and that will be the end of this game.
Yeah, if you're looking to get anybody fed on the side of Crown, I think it would be trying to get this Oriana ahead, because one Oriana Shockwave can blow up that Kog'Maw, and they don't have a lot to block it out. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll get right into the game right after this, guys.
Hey, got a permit for those guns?
I've got your permit right here.
Permit denied.
Alrighty, guys. Here we go, starting off the game beautifully with a pause. I hope you all enjoy. Sorry, I just couldn't keep all of the Hoff to myself there. I had to show a little bit off on stream. Thank you all for the request. By the way, if you do have a song request, you can throw it in the chat. You can either put out the name of the song or type in a link. I swear the Zanbot won't bite. He gets a little feisty, but do your thing.
Just don't say it in all caps, because then he'll kick you.
It's true. All caps, not the way to go.
All right, we'll just get introducing the sides while we're waiting for this pause. On the red side, or purple side, or however you want to call it, we have Merch in the top lane on Poppy. We have Poodoo on Elise in the jungle. Ibis on Orianna in the mid lane. Swifter on ADC Callista, and Sailor Venus on Nautilus in the mid lane, or in the support lane. Support lane? In the bot lane.
There you go, pretty close. And for my sides, I'll be having baked beans, coleslaw, french fries. No, I'm just kidding. And we got the Titans. Clannon in the top lane, Lord Patchling coming through in the jungle, KRP, the holiest, in the mid lane. Detritus and Full Metal Echo are rounding out this team in the bot.
Yeah, so I'm gonna predict it. Crown will do their classic standard 5 men across the river start. They do this every single game. It's kind of famous for them. I'm surprised other teams don't take advantage of that. But yeah, they do it a lot, and we'll see if they do it here. Follow their pattern they've done all season long.
Yeah, right, where they have them all. We kind of always see Titans, they always go as a group. I really like that. They don't necessarily go for the normal line of scrimmage that a lot of these teams do. They take the consistent cluster approach, and they get ready for any sort of level 1 engage, and they try to instigate one themselves. They do have a very decent level 1 team right here, and I could definitely see them taking a kill away off of Crown right now.
Yeah, so they did do the 5 man across the river, and a little bit of danger for Ibis. Hopefully Shen gets that taunt, and the flash comes out from Orianna. Yeah.
Oh wow, you definitely like fell into the matrix right there. That was pretty intense. But yeah, flash burn from Orianna. I'm not really sure if that was really necessary at the end of the day. The taunt might have landed then the frostbite from Full Metal Echo. It might, or Winter's Bite, excuse me. So
Frostbite.
yeah, right, something like that. It would have got cold for her, that's for sure. But she decides to burn the flash, keeps herself safe. Overall, you can't fault her for that. Him, sorry. Champion's a girl, whatever.
Yeah, no, I honestly think it was a good idea. You really don't want to give Braum even one stack of that, especially when he has a 5 man. Kog'Maw, if he started the attack speed, can get off real quick. And the taunt does last, a second, so gives them time to catch up to Shen, even though he's a little bit ahead the back. So I think it was good idea overall.
It's definitely. I'm trying to. Somebody asked what the bans were in chat. I'm trying to remember what was Titans bans. It was Janna,
Ezreal, and
Ezreal,
Gragas.
Gragas. There we go.
Yeah.
Cool
Both bot lanes did the exact same thing. Interesting. They both started Gromp and Krogs.
However, we do see that Swifta actually misses his first line of melee minions, which is going to hurt them. And then Sailor Venus grabs him with that very first... Oh my gosh, that dredge line! Gets him the kill. The Ren going over to Swifta. First blood for Crown.
Something I was actually going to point out was the fact that Sailor Venus did take a lot less damage than Full Metal Echo. It looked like Braum took way more damage in taking the Krugs, and you saw that right there as Callista is able to get the Rend off and actually kill him for the first blood within the first 2 minutes. This looks to be a pretty interesting game so far.
Definitely, and I really think that just goes to show how well put together this bot lane is going to be from Imperial Crown right now. They really are going to have to keep this advantage and try to keep pushing it forward, because with this team, we know that in the past we've seen Titans, they have somewhat of a poor early game. They need to take advantage of this, and they want to see that pressed. I want to see these roams into the mid lane from both these bot guys. They really need to make an advantage work all the way across the map if they want to take a game off of this team.
Yeah, getting an early lead against Titans is something we've seen many times before. Titans actually, if we go by the pattern of their gameplay during the regular season, and the playoffs, they actually really struggle in the early game. It's their macro game in the late game and their shot calling that makes them so good and made them go with their 24-1 record, almost undefeated. So we'll see. It is the early game, you know. Obviously, they give up that first blood, but not too much to be worried about.
Definitely. Sorry. We're going through some technical difficulties. We do see no item advantages so far coming out of the bot lane, and they actually stay fairly even in CS, even though they had the 2v1 pressure. And also, something to note, we've already had the back coming out from Poodoo in the jungle, whereas Patching is just now taking his time to go back, so he's being a little bit more efficient in his jungle, and we could see some jungle ganks here coming out very shortly.
Yeah, something we didn't really touch on was the Shen jungle. Obviously, you know, Shen can play in those 3 different positions. Not as much top anymore since the rework. You do see him in support and jungle a little bit more. But definitely something I'm looking forward to is how well Patchlin can play the Shen jungle. I mean, he was good on the Rumble jungle, so he's good at these more off-meta, interesting picks. So we'll see how he does on the Shen jungle, and it looks like his clear's done really well so far. As you did point out, he did go back after the Elise, and Elise is, you know, usually has some of the best clears. So.
Yeah, like I said, really that sustain that they have put onto his Q is absolutely phenomenal. Ibis has taken so much damage. KRP decides to take the dash in, gets so much damage on the way out. He does not have a smite. He's not going to be able to kill Ibis. He's going to be able to use the heal and get himself out of this lane. Really great job. All that pressure he's putting forward. He got that shifting sands off just in time in order to get a whole lot of damage down on Ibis in the mid.
Yeah, you said it in Champ Select. You said, oh, we have a little bit of a...
And not a whole lot.
Hustle going back and forth. Just gets the stun off. Yeah. Anyway, as I was saying, you said it kind of in Champ Select that Orianna does have a little bit of a harder time against Azir, and they didn't really pick a champion that could punish this Azir, which is really interesting because you want to be able to punish KRP. Instead, they pick an Orianna who's actually going to have a harder time against Azir, and we just saw there the hard time that he's going to have. Or she's going to have.
Yeah, exactly. it's hard. Like, what do we go off of here?
Yeah.
Oh, we got Sailor Venus catches Echo off. We got the Cocoon landed. There goes the bite. We got the exhaust down. Poodoo's rappelling down on top of Echo. We're just waiting way too long on this. Gets the last shot and the last auto attack, and Ren is gonna get the kill on Full Metal Echo. Great job here again from the bot lane from Imperial Crown. Kill number 2 going over to the side of Callista.
Yeah, looking at that replay there, we don't have replays, but I have the replay. Looking back at it, actually, they exhausted, or Braum got his exhaust off in the last second on Callista, and Swifted did something that's really, really smart. She held on to her rends and didn't rend while the exhaust was down, because if the exhaust is down, she does lose some of that damage. So really, really smart play by Swifta. He does have to burn his flash to get in that last stack, then to kill Full Metal Echo, but definitely worth. She's now has 2 kills, and she's doing pretty good.
Yeah, and otherwise, too, I really like that they went extra aggressive there in order to save the time for Poodoo. Really, right now, he's fairly far behind in creep score. He needs to find some way to keep his economy moving forward. He's only going to be able to do that with successful ganks, and KRP misses the Sand Soldiers in the mid lane. That's so sad. And we got Poodoo coming up, almost lands Cocoon, almost lands. We got a sombrero in the mid lane from Ibis. Really rough counter gank there from the side of Crown, but we are still going to have both mid laners keep their lives from this.
Yeah, Ibis definitely has to be a little bit careful here. Burst from Azir can come out really quickly, but yeah, definitely not what he was looking for when he missed that ult there.
Emperor's Divide.
Emperor's Divide, that's the name.
Yeah, I was looking forward to.
Yeah. But Ibis also technically missed his ult, you know, because KRP flashed out of it. So now both mid laners. Oh no, sorry, Ibis still has a flash. He burned his heal. But both mid laners have 1 summoner missing. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, here we go. Swifta. He's got the Fates call in. He's got Sailor Venus in there, but she did not put an auto attack down on Detritus. Very interesting. I believe it was just a misclick right there because it is incredibly hard to hit on the chambers. Full Metal Echo did throw up the Unbreakable shield, Unbreakable, yeah, excuse me. So it was really difficult to get that auto attack down on a Detritus, but I believe that's definitely going to cost him. Poodoo finding some action up here in the top lane, but he's going to miss his Cocoon, and Clannon is just going to pretty much keep doing what he's doing up here.
Yeah, another thing is Swifta threw Sailor in when she wasn't 6 yet, What you want to do is throw in when Sailor gets 6, then you know you can chain that CC. You've got the knock-up, then you've got the auto stun, then you've got the non-list knock-up. You've got a massive I can't talk, CC chain, and yeah, just got a little bit jumpy there, looking for that 3rd kill for Swifter.
Yeah, but I still like how they're putting forward a whole lot of aggression. It's something that they really need to do, and they need to keep this Cogmod down. Detritus is still keeping up in CS after all this. This is not the way they want to play this game. Regardless of the gold lead he's got, Detritus still hasn't even been back to base yet. That's how well he's doing, and he's at full health. This is absolutely insane. He has, I don't believe it's a level advantage, but even with kills being down, he's staying even in this lane. And that's not going to be good for Crown.
Yeah, he does have a tiny level advantage there as he gets 7 before Swifto, but Full Metal Echo will be down a little bit on levels because of the 2 deaths. He's had to have that walk back from base. In the top lane here, we see Merch grabbing a Negatron Cloak and the Bomby Cinder. I think he might be going for that ZZ Rot. Looks like he's going for 2 different items at the same time, but I think that will be the ZZ Rot.
Oh, it'll definitely be a ZZ Rot.
Yeah.
Which is going to be really tough. So when you have these top lane matchups with a tank going into a primarily damaged carry, it's going to be very tough for Clannen in order to get in there. It's really at high risk, high reward sort of trade. Since Merch isn't going to be doing the most damage since he's prioritizing being tanky, he has to rely on his items in order to do his full amount of damage. It's going to allow for Clannen to get farther ahead in his damage game while Merch is still trying to stay tanky, and he's going to take so much damage in this lane as he keeps getting bigger.
Yeah, they do look to take Dragon here. It's really hard to steal that, especially as you're against a Callista. At least they planned it really, really well. They got the Rend off and the Smite off almost at the exact same time. So really well played there by Crown. They're continuing to snowball their lead, which is nice. But as we said, you know, not only are Tide better in the late game, but they do have a better late game AD carry. So they got Crown is on a good pace. They've got to keep doing what they're doing right now, continue to snowball that lead, and see what they can make out of it.
Yeah, I really want to see Merch start making some big moves here in the top lane. He still has 1 more stack on the Corrupting Potion, while as Clannen has 0 sustain in this lane. He really just needs to press his luck, and looks like he's actually going to get ulted on right now. There goes Clannen, throws down the ultimate. Look at it, flashes out of the way of Merch's charge. And it looks like the taunt does not land from Patchling, but that is going to be enough. The last shuriken is going to finish him off. First kill of Titans is going to go over to Patchling. Or excuse me, Clannen.
Something we were questioning is he going to go AD cannon or is he going to go AP cannon? Obviously, AP cannon's better, and he did go AP cannon, but that does leave us with the conclusion that, or not the conclusion, but the problem that there's basically all AP on the side of Titans. So now Crown gets to build and itemize for that, and we'll see how well they can do. Also, I'm interested to see if Callista will get a Maw, because I know a lot of people are getting the Hex Drinker now on AD carries. We'll see what she does.
Oh, definitely. I think that's almost a guaranteed to see the Hex Drinker out of this game. Going up against the full AP team, I really can't see a reason not to get it. But, however, she does also have to itemize the Quicksilver Sash. So it's sort of difficult to justify getting that many defensive items, because that's going to take up 2 slots right there.
Yeah.
You have to decide which one you want to get first. It might be the early Banshee's Veil and maybe a 6th item Hex Drinker. Otherwise, it's really just going to put her so far behind on a champion that already has difficulty itemizing a lot of damage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We are seeing Elise kind of hovering around this mid lane. Obviously, they want to get Ibis ahead. She unfortunately misses a cocoon there, but kind of one of those things as a jungler, or when you're playing Lee Sin or Elise or something, you miss your cocoon, you miss your Q, and you kind of just walk back into the jungle like it never happens.
All right, nobody saw that.
No, nobody.
So again here, it looks like, I do believe you're right about Merch finishing off. I think he's going to go for the ZZ Rot first. It's going to help keep this wave pushed in his favor. He does have his pink ward down. He's going to want to keep constant pressure on Clannen in order to try to make it more difficult for him to CS here. However, I think he's going to have a lot of trouble getting to that point. Not only that, but he needs to start making some pressure in other lanes too. TP is down, Clannen's TP is up. Where's the next move going to be?
Yeah, I don't like what Clandon's doing here. He's going with that, what's the item called? The early Echo, Luden's Echo. And, you know, that is a decent item on Cannon, but why not get the Hourglass first? Because they don't have a ton of engage. With the Cannon engage, you know, he can Hourglass in, then ult, or ult and Hourglass. I think that would be better. Now he's just going to delay that. It's going to take him longer to finish those items, unless he does go for the Hourglass first and just got the, whatever it's called there.
However,
Ether Wisp.
You got to remember that they do have the Glacial Fissure from Full Metal Echo, so
That's
that is going to be a ton of engage from their team, and more than likely will be the primary source. They're really not going to be looking for very long-range engages because they want people to come back. They want to be in range of Detritus. He's not going to be very mobile. They have to control these engages, and the Glacial Fissure is going to be the way to do it.
Yeah, something I did want to point out. Now, obviously, the wards are gone, but just a couple minutes ago, before they went back, the Crown team had really, really solid wards in the bot lane. They're really trying to protect this Kindred, make sure she can snowball her lead, and the best way to do that is make sure she has proper ward coverage, and they've been doing that. They still have that pink in the lower side of Titan's jungle, so they're making sure that this Callista can push, this Nautilus can push, and they don't have to be too scared of ganks, or they'll be able to see them before they come.
Right, exactly. But so far we've seen Pashling mostly focusing up in the top lane. Merch sort of getting caught out here. The Slicing Maelstrom hits him pretty hard. But I do believe with only Clanron back there, oh, there we go. Have a Glacial Fissure down in the bot lane. Full Metal Echo is staying back. Not a whole lot to get out. We do have the Dredge line coming through. Whole lot of Ren stacks on him, but we have Pashling is able to get the Stand United off. They are re-engaging here on the side. We do have that, the Bio-Arcane Barrage from Detritus is going to land him a kill on Sailor Venus. And what a hell of a turnaround here from Imperial Titans.
Yeah, that was a weird turn of events. I just think they forgot about the Shen ulti there. They went really, really deep, and Sailor Venus ended up taking 2 to 3 tower shots, and they just underestimated the Shen TP, and really Elise wasn't in position to counter gank, and yeah, they just got caught with their foot in the mouth there.
There was definitely a lot of misplays. I really feel like even though the Stand United was used, it wasn't exactly very effectual as it could have been in possibly another lane. There's Ibis. He gets up there. I was waiting for it. He was so low. This is where he's got to start excelling. He has a lot of burst damage, more so than KRP does. He utilizes it. He gets that shockwave off. He gets that dissonance off. And there goes a kill over to Ibis in the mid lane.
Yeah, you know what? Not many people can say they've solo killed KRP too many times in this league, but Ibis now can add that to his list. That was a really, really well played ultimate from, or well placed and well positioned ultimate from Orianna. KRP just, I think he got a little bit cocky. You know, he thought he could stay in lane, thought he could get the extra farm, but the ball was right beside him. He just underestimated the damage and then ends up getting taken down there.
Most definitely, KRP will be sleeping outside tonight. So unfortunate. However, he does already have a lot of key items already built. We already have the Rylai's built. We have the we have Clannon rolling now in this cannon. He has 1 full AP item. We're going to be looking for these engages. They want to be able to have as much CC on their team in order to slow up the side of Crown so they can have Detritus just rain down terror from the back line. But they're going to lose this bot lane tower in the meantime.
Good job for Titans to back off there, not try to stay under their turret. You know, they saw the dive coming, they pinged it out. And not only did they ping it out, but they actually pinged Shen to come mid so they could actually trade that tower. So really, really smart moves there by Titan. This is what makes a good team and a bad team. Oh, but we do have a fight going on here.
Yeah, and it's really, there's nothing they can do against that. Just that hard engage from Swifto. He was able to get the Fates called down. And we do see the Emperor's Divide going into mid lane, trying to finish out Merch. But he does have the presence of mind. He is able to flash back over it. And we're going to possibly see a re-engage. But Patchling is still staying around here. They do want to get the second tier mid tower. Ooh, another big engage. We do have Clannon caught by the shockwave, but not that much damage down. He's going to throw back a shuriken. Not a whole lot traded in response. And it looks like both teams' second tier towers are going to stay up after this.
Yeah, really questionable there for Clannon to actually complete his teleport. Detritus was already dead. They weren't going to get anything off of it. I mean, sure, it might have saved the second tier tower, But he could have kept going top, could have, increased his farm late onto Merch, taken that top tower, and instead he does decide to complete his TP. Not the worst play of all, but as I was saying also before the fight, is that something Titans are really good at. The difference between a good team and a great team is Titans react to plays. They saw them in the bot lane, so they pinged to go to the mid lane, and they actually end up trading 2 towers there, so or 1 tower each. So if you want to be a good team, that's what you have to do. You have to be able to trade objectives and do it properly, and they did it there.
Oh, exactly. The macro game right now from them has been absolutely on point. They already see that the ZZ Rot from Merch has been finished. We do have the shifting stance movement in from KRP. He's got the Stand United down on him. He's going to flash to get into range. They want that taunt coming down from Patchling. He's got it down on top of Ibis. The Shockwave is not going to save him. There goes some soldiers straight through him, and Sailor Venus is now getting caught out. Soldiers constantly going through him. Auto attacks going down. There goes the command attack. Down goes Sailor Venus. Kill picked up for Patchling. This is 2 kills already for the side of Imperial Titans, and we are going to have Pudu get out safely.
Yeah, it's really hard to get away from Azir once he's got that Rylai's Crystal. The range on his soldiers, plus they do proc the Rylai's Crystal. You saw there that neither Sailor Venus nor Ibis could get away. Despite Ibis even flashing away, she still couldn't get away from the gank.
Most definitely. Like the point I was trying to make before, Merch has already got his ZZ Rot portal down, and they are still having trouble pressuring in this top lane. This is something that's really showing to the macro game here of Titans. They are able to play these lanes like a fiddle. They're really going to have to find something to do here on the side of Crown in order to start getting this lead. Over 100 gold at least.
Yeah. Despite the kills being even, actually no, I guess the gold is really even too at this point. It's just a really close game. Both sides are playing very slowly and methodically, trying not to make a big mistake. I like this game so far. Both teams are showing why they made this championship. They're not being sloppy. There has been some questionable plays here and there, but it's not these ugly game-throwing plays, and that's why both these teams are in the championship in the first place.
Most definitely. So I really want to see the way that these top laners are going to start itemizing. We already have the ZZ Rot finished, so pretty much the core of Merch's build. Is he going to start building a little damage since this team is fairly low damage? Is he going to go sort of like a tanky hybrid with a Frozen Gauntlet, or are we going to see maybe like a Banshee's Veil after he grabs this Sunfire Cape?
Yeah, I don't really think he's go damage. I mean, he might, but it looks like, he's going to finish his Sunfire, and then he's probably going to look for those MR items. The good thing with Poppy is that she does just have a lot of damage naturally, so if you get some MR items on top of that Poppy with all the magic damage that Titans have, it's going to be extremely hard to actually kill Poppy. And that's what you want from being a Poppy. You want to make it hard for the enemy team to kill you.
Most definitely. And here we already see Detritus making the moves up top. He does run out of his W, but this is going to... Merge is still cut out anyway. We have a whole team of Titans are sitting there at his back, Passion lands the taunt. Down goes Merge.
Yeah, I don't know why Merch decided to stay there. He knew Braum was in his jungle. He knew, obviously, because Cogbone was in the lane. I mean, the only one he didn't account for was Shen, but he had to expect that people were going to converge on that. It is the, the last outer tier. Oh, sorry, I guess the bottom is still up. But, it was low already. He's just going to back off. Let that turret go. It's not worth it. Now they got to take the turret and Merch, and now they're seeing themselves down by 1k gold.
Yeah, and this is really the first sign of weakness already from the side of Imperial Crown, and this is a trend that you do not want to keep up. Here is where Titans excel. We are getting into the team fighting portion of this game. They are able to rotate around this map incredibly efficiently, and these team fights are going to almost always go in their favor if they are allowed to pick them.
Yeah, and Merch is just noticing now that he has to come down to the Dragon. He's going to get there a little bit late, because he doesn't have the TP either. So Titans does get the positioning. They do back off the Dragon. They respect. I think at this point, they want to respect that Orianna. Orianna, if you get grouped up in an Orianna, she gets her ult down. Not a pretty story for her.
Ooh, here comes Merch flying into the side. He's going to burn off that Stand United really fast on a KRP. so that is going to allow Crown to pick up this dragon. There goes KRP, get in the back line. Emperor's Divide pulling Merchant. There goes a first stun down. Sailor Venus is almost taken out. Poodoo jumps right in the middle. He's going to get taken down, but they do find their target. Detritus goes down. Imperial Crown is ahead on this one. Soldiers cannot find their target. That is going to be an ace for the side of Imperial Crown.
What a fight. How well played was that Oriana ult. She held on to it for as long as she possibly could, made sure that she didn't panic and do it. A lot of Orianas sometimes, you know, they'll see 1 or 2 people and they're panicking, they'll just ult. She held on to it. She got 4 people in that ultimate. Then Swifter the whole time was just in the back line. That's why you don't want to let this Callista get too far ahead. She's got the Rune's Hurricane and the Blade of the Rune King. She's just shredding through people right now. We saw exactly why you don't let the Callista get so far ahead. And right now, this game on our hands, Titans are falling behind in what we know as their strong point in the game was the team fighting. I think they should have taken the dragon when they had the upper hand with Merch top lane, and it looks like down 3 dragons and a couple towers now.
Yeah, this is real. We're really seeing a lot of signs of life here from the side of Imperial Crown. That play right there from Merch, he played it very well. I like the way they started off that engage. He went immediately on to KRP when he saw him pushed out. He burned off the Stand United from Patchling, so that was a big part of that engage that could have been used once KRP shifting Sand into their team. That was something that was already burnt off, a huge part of the engage. And on that Emperor's Divide, he was only able to push in both the tanks. Merch soaked up a lot of damage. He took a lot of aggression from the side of Titans, and that allowed the back line in order to finish them off.
Yeah, and Clannon got absolutely blown up, and this kind of goes back to my point of why didn't he get the Hourglass first. You know, the Ludens is great. If you're way ahead, have the Ludens. But the game was even, and actually, if anything, they were a little bit behind. It's really greedy to grab that Ludens first, and he just gets blown up now because he has no way to actually get his full ult off if he doesn't have that Hourglass.
Definitely, we are going to see Echo is just going to tank up this mid lane tier 2 tower, and they're still going to trade tower for tower. We still see this macro game. They are playing incredibly well. The ZZ Raw portal from Merch, which pushed up very far, and Patchling is going to find this very quickly and be able to take it out. One thing to note, though, Patchling build, he has went for a Titanic Hydra in the jungle. Really interesting pick, for my opinion.
Yeah, interesting that he'd go with the Titanic Hydra instead of just going full tank. Because Braum is support, you know, you can't go that full tank that you would be able to on a jungler or a top lane. You know, still Braum will be tanky, but they have enough damage. There's no reason for this Shen really to go Ravenous, or sorry, can't talk, Titanic. It's not a bad item, but I would have liked to see him just go full tank and let the rest of his team do damage.
Yeah, me too. I really sort of questioning this tactic right here. He does have the chain vest right here. I'm curious as to see what they move with it. They have a very good mix of damage from the side of Imperial Crown. They have a decent amount of health shredding from Elise. They have the AP damage from both them and Oriana, as well as the decent amount of AD that's going to be coming from Swifta. So they have a very well-rounded team. They're going to have to find a way to itemize against this and somehow keep their backline alive.
Yeah, with that chain vest, I can see Shen going one of two things. He's either going to get his own ZZ Route portal to kind of match the one on Merch, or he's going to go for more of the, what do you call it?
I don't know. I'm not from Canada. I don't know what to call it.
The Thornmail, yeah, he could go for the Thornmail as well, is what I expect. Because he has enough health. I don't think he's going to go for Dead Man's Plate. He could, but the Thornmail would be useful.
I don't know. We'll see. He finds himself catched underneath this tower here. The heroic charge is going to land on him. He's just going to taunt his way out. There's really nothing Merch can do against this guy. He's going to get smited just for a little bit of extra safety. But one thing to note, we do see in chat, Aragon made a very good point. This late game right now is going to be entirely dominated by the side of Titans. Naturally, by having this Kog'Maw on their team, he doesn't have his Blade of the Rune King finished yet. That was one of the reasons why he was so easy to single out in that last fight. Once his Blade of the Rune King is finished, he's going to have even more sustain. He's going to have even more shred in these fights, and he's going to be even more of a target. They have to find a way to start clearing out these fights better, because the scaling on their team is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I do agree. I really, I think that Titans does have that late game, but the one thing that you have to remember is Orianna Shockwave, and if Titans want to have a chance in team fights, they have to keep Detritus in the back line until that Shockwave is gone. Once that Shockwave is gone or has been used, then they gotta you get Kog'Maw up there and get him doing his DPS. If he gets caught in that Shockwave, he's gonna be blown up no matter what point in the game it is.
KRP looks like he smelled blood in the water, going over there for Poodoo. Shifting Sands does not find anybody, and he is going to just sort of wallow back into his litter box. That was a cat joke, by the way.
Another good point from our chat on Twitch is that, yeah, Kog'Maw does have the lowest farm of the 3 lanes, and they're not funneling it into the Kog'Maw, even though the Kog'Maw was really set behind compared to the Kalista, obviously 5-0, 33 and 2. Kalista's now 30 CS ahead. If I were Titans, I'd just funnel as much CS as you possibly can into that Kog'Maw and get him going. Once Kog'Maw gets 3 items, he becomes very dangerous.
Most definitely, and he is already at that point. Poodoo found himself a little caught out. We do have this next dragon here starting to get contested. This is going to be dragon number 4. This is going to be a team fight that is now uneven for Imperial Titans, but we do have Detritus is safe in the background. The Fate's Call is going to find onto him, but we don't have anybody from the side of Crown to get there. Their team is absolutely melting. Detritus is completely safe. Emperor's Divide is going to throw Ibis back in there. He cannot get away from those Sand Soldiers. Merch is going to try to finish this off, and they are actually starting to turn this team fight around. Absolutely insane. The ace coming out for the side of Imperial Crown. They do come out ahead.
Crown should really not have won that fight, honestly. You saw Orianna got her ult only off on one person, and she barely like the little mastery modes
Dead
coming out
masteries.
there. But yeah, she didn't get her ult off at all during that fight. She only got that one person. It was right before she died. It was kind of like, okay, well, I gotta use it because I'm about to die, and yet even with the Orianna only hitting one person, they still won the fight. So really interesting. It just shows you how much DPS Swifter is really doing. Kog'Maw still isn't getting off as much damage as he'd like. He does have the Blade of the Moon King, which we pointed out was kind of a core item for Kog'Maw. Now that he has that Blade of the Moon King, we'll see in the next fight how much damage he's able to get down.
And one thing I want to note, I do like how Merch went ahead. He grabbed the ZZ Rot portal, which does have the armor and magic resist on it. Then after that, he went straight for the Sunfire, something we kind of questioned with their team being primarily AP. But in that last fight, when he was the one face first into Detritus, he did live for an incredibly long time and was able to re-engage in that fight, and something that was very crucial for the win for Imperial Crown.
Yeah, one thing you pointed out is you asked, is Merch going to go a little bit more damage? I didn't think he would, but he actually did. He does grab the Maw, and that was a very, very smart item, I think, because it gives you that MR and the damage, so he's able to do a little bit more damage as well. So now not only do you have to be worried about that Orianna Shockwave, and you have to be worried about Swifter doing as much damage as he's doing, now even Merch is doing his own DPS. So really, really scary team right now, Crown's got.
Here we go. We got Passion caught out a little bit. He's got the taunt down. He's going to get him out fairly safely. Trying to figure out what they're going to do with this information on the side of Titans. So far, they are starting to get into more of a reactionary play scenario. They're not exactly finding a lot of openings. They're really going for the dragon as soon as the side of Crown decides to do it. KRP almost finds himself caught there. Has to burn his cleanse, but he's going to get out of the mid lane.
Something that we really haven't touched on is Crown has 4 dragons. Oh, we do have a flash taunt there.
Flash taunt, and Poodoo is just absolutely deleted. This is going to be Baron open for the side of Titans.
Yeah, something I was, back to what I was saying is there is 4 dragons taken down. 4 crowns. They are going to look for the 5th, but Titans do decide to start on this Baron, even though there's an Orianna still up. That's definitely scary.
Ooh, that is going to be the ult burned there for Merch. We have our very big shockwave laning. That is over 70% of Detritus' health is gone. They're going to have to disengage off this Baron for this.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea from Titans, get the Baron, try to snowball. Obviously, Poodoo's gone. But against an Orianna who has a lot of damage right now, and if you're grouped up like that, just not a smart idea. Swifter taking a little damage from the Baron there. Just Baron trying to protect those wards.
It was all for the ward. He is the keeper, though. He's like Smaug with his wards in the
Yeah.
back. Here we go.
I'm surprised actually Sailor Venus didn't grab the ZZ-Rod as well. I would have loved to see 2 ZZ-Rods, you know, one in one lane, one in the other. But it does look like he might be going... What is he building next there? I don't really know, actually. He's got the Null Magic Mantle
Yeah, and then
and the Crystalline Bracer, yeah. I don't know what he's going for there. Maybe Righteous Glory?
Yeah, but Righteous Glory I don't believe has any magic resistance.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that's maybe for another item.
Yeah, you're right. It could be a Righteous Glory with something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really strange. I also was really hoping for that. Yeah, really strange build there coming out. We do see right now, look at this scoreboard. Swifta is 8-0-5 against the #1 team in this league right now, showing a whole lot of gusto against the Titans.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to beat Crown in this game, so if you're going to beat this team, you got to take down the Callista. She's just so far ahead. You've got to get to that Callista. They've been using the Azir wall consistently for engage after engage after engage, but they're not getting anybody valuable. They're, as you have pointed out, they're getting the tanks. You don't want the tanks. They've got to go for the damage dealers, or they have to use it defensively. So that's something KRP might be looking at is, do I need to use my Azir wall more defensively? Because I'm clearly not getting any picks off of using it aggressively.
Right, but the thing about it is that Crown has not exactly made any aggressive plays. This whole game has been off the basis of Titans finding an opening. They find a small opening, and they try to exacerbate it into a much bigger one than it really is, and it ends up costing them. They haven't found a very successful a very successful team fight all game. They need to start playing it a little bit safer, using that Emperor's Divide a little bit more defensively, like you said, and that could turn this game around for them.
Okay, so they're going for the double Legion. Sailor Venus has 2 of them now. They don't stack. I don't know what she's doing there. She might be going for the Banner of Command and the Locket. Don't exactly know. To me, that's just a waste of an item slot because you're not getting this. I mean, you're getting the personal stats, but you're not getting the aura stats off of it. So I don't really like it, but we'll see what she does with it.
Yeah. I don't know. That is
she
one of the
forgot?
strangest things I've ever seen.
I mean,
It is very
what was it?
distinctly a unique aura. So they're really all she's getting out of that is an extra 200 health, 100 base health regen, and 20 magic resist. It is quite possibly the worst item to buy right now. She could literally like buy a Teemo, and it would be a better item, giving 0 stats than what this is doing.
I mean, Complexity Black did buy the 2 IEs the one game. So, I mean, sometimes maybe you just forget. Maybe she forgot if she already has one. I don't really know. If she wants more magic resist, just get the banner. Or get the, not the banner, get the ZZ-Rot. It gives you the magic resist. Or grab a Banshees. Don't grab another Legion. You don't need to.
To be fair, in their defense, I think that is actually what they're doing, but we do see a really big engage coming out right here. KRP is caught by the Shockwave in the back line. We do have the Slicing Maelstrom going into the back of the side of Imperial Crown. The Zanya is going to go off. We have Crown to split off into every direction of this map, but we do have Titans are backed off into a corner. Pudu is trying to find his mark in the back line. They can't find it yet. Detritus is at full health. He finds Ibis here in the river. This is going to cost him his life. He goes down. This is 4 members with glowing red health bars on Imperial Crown. Can they get out of this fight?
Yeah, really, really risky fight there. Titan or Crown just wasn't in the position to get the dragon, which is surprising. They knew that it was 5th dragon, the timer was coming up, and they were on the other side of the river, not where they wanted to be position-wise. Then Swifta didn't get as much damage as she wanted to, because she ended up getting split from the team entirely. Then Ibis obviously getting caught out in the river there. It was a 1 for 2 overall, but definitely not worth it. And you're kind of seeing how much damage the Kog'Maw is starting to do. He did get a kill in that fight. Then he's got now a QSS, so he's not going to get locked up as easy. Getting a little bit scary for Titans, or sorry, for Crown. As we did point out, there's a time limit for Crown. They've got to close this game off or get a big enough lead that they can snowball it before the Kog'Maw gets too out of control.
And with this game, if you notice, the same amounts of damage items were built on Detritus as there were in the last team fight. The main source of his damage right now is the the time in the game. He has gotten to the point where the tanks are getting bigger, so his percent of health shred is taking out even more life, and he's just becoming an incredibly potent tank buster here in the back line. If they cannot find the shockwaves to go into Detritus, they will not take away these team fights.
Yeah, and it's going to be really scary once Braum finishes this, finishes the Zeke's Herald, because then it gives Kog'Maw crit, and that's the last thing you want, is the extra AP and the crit on a Kog'Maw. So it's going to be scary once you finish this Zeke. So if you're Crown, you got to make moves now, and getting that 5th Dragon was the start. Unfortunately, they didn't get it. So now the question is, where do they go from here?
Well, really where they go from here is for that 5th Dragon. They have been doing fairly well in these team fights, and that is something that they need to keep up if they want to take away this game. I'm just not sure if they're going to find their openings in it. They have such a solid defense on the side of Imperial Titans. It looks very tough to crack.
Yeah, I don't really like where that ZZ route's planted. Obviously, that's going to get taken away pretty quick once it gets pushed. But not as much magic resist items coming out from Imperial. Oh, but we do have a fight here.
Yeah, they are finding KRP in the backline. That's going to be the Emperor's Divide, sending everybody back. The Fate's Call is sending Sailor Venus to her doom, but they do find a whole lot of damage there on the Clannon, but it is not enough. We have a whole lot of full health bars on the side of Imperial Titans. There goes the slow on the Pudu. There goes the taunt on the Pudu. The repel coming up. Can he find a way out of this fight? He's going to try to get the Titans off his team. Repel's behind. Second kill for Azir in that fight.
Yeah, that looks like an easy Baron. You know, Orianna doesn't have her Shockwave this time. They still do have the Orianna and Calista up, so you got to be a little bit careful. But no Pudu and no Sailor Venus. They're going to get blown up pretty quick if they just face check this.
There we go. We have already the kills going down, but this is looking to go for the side of Imperial Crown. Can they finish this off in time? They do. There goes the smite from Patchling. There goes Baron. But is this going to cost them the game? Sorry, a little bit of a lull. I was just really excited. Oh, he does find KRP going back. Ibis is going to stop the back. They do have 2 Baron buffs on the side of Titans, but there's 4 members from the side of Crown still up. Can they take this engage and maybe grab this mid lane inhibitor turret off it?
Yeah, I mean, after Clannon died, they should have just kind of backed off that Baron, because Clannon has ult to zone, but he got blown up a lot quicker than he thought he would. I don't know if he saw the Calista flash over the wall and then flank him until the last second, and he didn't have his hourglass up either, so just got blown up really quick. So that was their zoning tool, and it was gone. After that, you know, you got to back off Baron. They still do end up getting it, but they lose 3 for it, so they have the similar gold lead, actually. The gold's about even right now, so it's going to come down to positioning in team fights and who has the better positioning.
That is 100% what this game is about. So far, the side of Titans has done an amazing job keeping Detritus in the back line and able to prioritize their targets. This is the biggest part. If you notice, as soon as Sailor Venus was caught out of position in the last Fate's Call, he was immediately focused by the entire team. It's absolutely critical to have their whole team focus on Detritus' target. He's going to take them out incredibly fast. They just need to make sure they keep them locked down in the meantime.
Yeah, so she does go for the banner and the locket. The banners, obviously, to help with the split push. You know, they've got the ZZ Rod and the banner now to split push both waves. Merch does look for patchling. Nothing comes of it. Very interesting. No Ma coming out of Calista. We were wondering if that would come up, but she did grab the QSS, however. Or the Scimitar, I should say.
Right, and obviously the best buy. Kind of interesting that she decides to go for a Spirit Visage here over the side of the Hex Drinker. I really think that is probably going to be a good pick in the long run. It's going to keep her incredibly healthy, keep a whole lot of magic resist on her, and also give a little bit more of the cooldowns for even more Fate's Calls in Rens in these fights. Here we go. We got Merch going in the backline. He's going to miss that ultimate. Very crucial. Fate's Call going down on a KRP, but this is just a really sloppy engage for the side of Imperial Crown. The Glacial Fisher also not going to do much, but they're going to try to retreat out of this fight. Pudu caught out, going to have to flash. Taunt going down from Patchling. And overall, they get their way out of a sloppy engage.
But Ibis is caught way out of position. Just Yeah, he's going to go down. It's only a matter of time before Clannon catches up to him. They go for the wild goose chase. Now, however, this is good. This is stopping them from taking anything. They're just going to get an Ibis kill off of this.
Hold on, can we clear
up.
the, what's that guy's name that is famous for the chases? It's not even really that impressive. I was just starting up the trumpet. Damn it, Ibis!
And yeah, he dies. He doesn't pull Bjergsen. I remember when Bjergsen ran across the whole map back when Winter Fox was chasing them and everything. Oh, good old Winter Fox.
Here goes the find. They got the cocoon there on the patchling. There goes the Fate's Call. There goes the Nautilus ultimate. That's a whole lot of damage down, but it's a slicing maelstrom in the middle of their team. So much damage going down. KRP finds Swift in the backline. The Emperor's Divide going down. Clannon is going to be rended off. That is going to be Swift's life. 4 members down for Imperial Crown. This could be the game.
Why would they pick that fight? Ibis is gone. They have no Shockwave. They have no Oriana, which is the main source of their damage, and they choose to fight that one. It doesn't make sense. And not only they choose to fight it, but they actually engaged it. Not really smart on the side of Imperial Crown, and Full Metal Echo looks to chase down Merch. I don't think this will be the end. This will probably just be an inhibitor because Ibis is up in about 5 seconds. So that will delay that. But yeah, just a really sloppy fight for Crown to take. And Titans is good in late game. They don't make as many mistakes, and they're basically undefeated in the regular season, and this is why. They take advantage of mistakes like that.
Yeah, it's really showing off the amount of resolve that they have in this game. They've been playing from behind, really not from behind. It's been very even, and I think in Titans' eyes, that is behind them. They are so used to playing so far ahead in this league that they are really shaken up from this game. I really like the amount of pressure that Crown has put on, but they need to keep their heads in this game. We have a full, possible 5-game series ahead of us, and they need to start regaining their momentum in this game if they want to keep this series' hopes alive.
Yeah, so right now, as Crown just tries to kind of regroup here, they've just got to manage their sideways, get those pushed out. You see Sailor Venus going for probably what's going to be their Thornmail or Dead Man's Plate. I do see the Dead Man's Plate coming out for that engage for Nautilus. But another thing I do want to point out is the Sailor Venus is the last 2 of her ults have been on either Full Metal Echo or Patchling. She hasn't been getting them on to the damage threats. I understand it's hard to get back there and everything, but you've got to try to get your ult onto Tritus or Holy KRP. If you get your ult on one of those champions, it really completely blocks them out from or zones them from the team fight until that ult is down.
Definitely, she has been sort of blowing her load early in a lot of these I'm sorry, I thought I could say that with a straight face, but I really couldn't. Anyway, so a lot of these team fights have not been holding on to her ultimate, and it's something that is absolutely crucial in games where these hyper carries do exist. You just can't let that through in these games going on the first target that comes your way. By the way, KRP's dog, it's a best of 5. Jesus Christ. I didn't realize his pets had finally made it this way.
Yeah, even his pets are watching his stream now.
I wish everybody's family was as dedicated as KRP's.
Yeah, guys, come on. Put your family on here. Although I actually do know Ibis's family he has had his family watch his games before. So that's awesome. Good old family support.
So hi Ibis's mom, if you're here. He didn't get a chance to say it in chat.
My mom doesn't understand this game. I've tried to show her, but she just doesn't get it.
Parents just don't understand. That's correct.
They also don't get the concept of pausing, that you can't pause.
Oh, here we go. Pudusher wishes he could get a pause right now. He is caught out from the side of Titans and quickly bursts it out. Merch is going to be able to ult away half the team of Titans, but is that half enough? Looks like it's going to be.
They do lose a Nectus turret as well. This doesn't make sense. I mean, Crown was just there, or Titans was just there. They back up to the jungle. You have 3 blue trinkets. Why are you face checking? Especially against a Braum, and they get absolutely taken apart right there. Looks like they're going to lose another inhibitor.
That is a whole lot of defense right now. We see that Patchling decided to go for the Warmogs and the Randuins. Let it be noted that those are 2 of the highest HP items in this game. It's going to make his Titanic Hydra do even more damage in these fights. can't say it has been working out well for them. I don't exactly agree with the itemization, but they've been playing with it very well in this game. And at the end of the day, if it works, it works.
Yeah, you know what? Instead of this banner that Sailor got, I would have loved to see her get a Frozen Heart. Just stand on Detritus, make sure that Detritus' attack speed is a little bit lower. Yeah, now it really looks like this game is kind of snowballed out of control. Titans have now got the banner, or now have gotten the Baron. Sorry, I can't talk. Baron. Then, you know, they're going for their 3rd dragon here. What Crown was supposed to get their 5th, once they lost that fight, it's only been downhill since then.
Yeah, it's really interesting. They were on the cusp of 5th dragon, the cusp of possibly winning this game, and now they've already lost 3 dragons before that. That's 15 minutes of dragon phase. This is the past 15 minutes of this game that they've been going in a downward spiral. They need to find... it's really hard to even say where they start recovering for this game. Do we just start looking towards the next game now?
Yeah, at this point, your only real chance of winning against Titans, getting a really solid flank and killing Detritus. If you can kill Detritus and take him out, then, you know, you have a chance at winning this game. But if you can't kill Detritus and he's just in the back line doing as much damage as he's doing, and same with KRP, this game's out of reach for them.
Yeah, definitely. We see merch grab... we keep going back to these itemizations. It is so very crucial in these games. Like Chad has already pointed out, we have a Frozen Heart is in this game. You can buy that item. We have plenty of tanks on the side of Crown that can utilize this item. Why is it not in this game? You have an insane attack speed from KRP and Detritus. That 20% alone would nerf their damage significantly. We need to see that coming, but we have... merch here in the back lane. Keeper's verdict is stop canceled. They're going to find the stun on him. 3 members on him, but we have a split team from Imperial Titans. Can they make an engage out of this? Sailor Venus is caught out. There goes the Bio Arcane Barrage from Detritus. He does have the Zeke's Herald buff going. He's still got critical hits going off on this. He does find Puto in the background. There goes the next skill going on for the team. Can they find the rest of the team, or are they just going to take the game off this?
Yeah, that looks like that's going to be game. Unless they can defend the base here, Swift is still up. Try their best.
Merch is trying to make the man plays there in the background, but Detritus is full health. This is definitely going to be the game. GG, well played for the side of Imperial Crown. We are going to see this go into the next game. 1 game up. Imperial Titans 1, Crown 0. We got a possible 5-game, best of 5 series for tonight. So guys, stick around. We're going to go into a short break as we get ready for the next match.
dream success. Don't let your dreams be dreams. You should get to the point where anyone else will quit, and you're not gonna stop there. So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Do it. Nothing is impossible. Do it. Make your dreams come true. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Just do it. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said tomorrow. Yesterday you said no. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna wake up and stop giving up. You're gonna wake up and work hard at. You're gonna
Weezy baby and I'm high like maintenance. I'm smoking, I'm drinking, leaning daily like my name is, you know what my name is. Bitch, I'm famous like Tom Brady and your name is not important. Who cares? Not Weezy baby. Wake up, I see bad bitch, bad bitch, bad bitch. Makeup on my pillows make me mad, bitch. But I know makeup, I see that bitch as is average.
Alrighty, guys, and here we go. Getting into game number 2. We have Imperial Esports versus... Excuse me, not Imperial Esports. Sorry, I'm on drugs. It's Imperial Crown and the Titans.
Yeah, game number 2. Can Crown actually make a little bit of a comeback here? As they did slip in game number 1, and the tail of the Titans holds up. They fall in the early game. The mid-game comes. They struggled a little bit more than they usually do, however. But in the end, they end up having the more decisive shot calling and finish the game on top. So many teams have said it over and over and over again. Titans are very weak in the early game, but their macro play is just immaculate, and they've been showing that here. They do take game number 1. Can they do the same thing in game number 2?
Speaking of tail, I just can't get over the fact of Benedict Cumberbatch playing as Baron Nashor. I feel like if they ever do make a League of Legends movie, that it would be an absolutely phenomenal role to have the Batch as Baron. I just really think that that would be very interesting.
And MAHHIR, he's actually been banned 29 out of 30 games. KRP has gotten Yasuo once. They got it actually against Crown. Crown decided not to ban it and ended up losing that game. So, yeah,
Surprise.
It's not every game. He's got it once. So, some people don't do their research. Just kidding. Lawler said they purposely did that. They thought they knew how to handle the Yasuo.
So, getting into these bans already, we see almost the exact same bans. Excuse me, the Titans are going to go ahead and ban away the Kog'Maw themselves this game. I'm guessing that they were going to not pick this champion. They didn't have first pick, so they wanted to go ahead and take it away from the side of Crown. They didn't want to have an ace in the hole that could possibly come back to bite them in this game. We do see Patchling on this Shen again, and if anything, we've seen in these Titans games, when they find a formula that works, they stick to it, and they can go through the whole series on this same thing.
Talking about ace in the hole, I would love to see a Caitlyn pick. I really do like Caitlyn. She's
Caitlyn
not
House.
extremely in the meta right now, but I would like to see Caitlyn. Oh, and one thing that we do have to point out is that Sailor Venus does get her Janna. Obviously, the Alistar is taken by Clannon, by Full Metal Echo, so they're gonna, obviously jump to Sailor's second best support, which is her Janna, which means will Nautilus be top lane this time instead of support?
Definitely. So a few things there. Caitlyn, obviously a terrible lane with Alistar. Not something that synergizes very well at all. Sailor Venus playing Girl Champs, check. Detritus playing Sivir, check. There we go.
And Lord Patchling playing Rumble.
Oh, there it is. There goes the Rumble in the jungle. This game is going full meme. They are channeling their inner Shia LaBeouf. And this time, their memes will be dreams. Or is it their dreams will be memes? I'm not sure. One or the other.
Your dreams will be memes. You want your dreams to be a meme. Because...
True. Then you're finally famous. You've actually succeeded once you're a meme. Damn, Matthew.
Patchling says, I'm playing Shen, shut up. So we're giving away strats, apparently. I would love to see if... the Rumble go in the top lane, because I actually think it's really strong, but we'll see. Or maybe it's KRP playing Rumble in the mid lane, who knows? We've seen some pretty weird picks, including we saw Yasuo ADC once in this tournament, so you never know what might come out.
That is true. Speaking of not knowing what might come out, looking at this team over from Imperial Crown, we got Swifta again on this Kalista possibly. It is a very strong AD carry. He can play it incredibly well. He showed that last game. But he doesn't exactly have the tank initiate like they did last time. For the most part, he can Fates call Sailor Venus into these fights, but it's not going to be optimal. However, they are on a lot of very good comfort picks for their team. Ibis on Victor, very comfortable pick. Pudu on this Rek'Sai. He is very good at this champion. I still remember one of my first games casting was Poodoo on Rek'Sai, and we had Merch on Alessandra, and they just had an absolutely amazing wombo combo in mid lane. My legs go numb just thinking about it. Absolutely phenomenal player on this Poodoo. Wow. This Rek'Sai on Poodoo is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I actually do remember that. I remember when he went over, and it was actually Ibis on Lissandra in the mid lane, but he went over the race, came in and got the 4-man knockup. Or was it 5? And you went crazy. You were oh my goodness, 5-man knockup. Like, that was really good by Rek'Sai to get a 5-man knockup, seeing as that knockup radius is not that big. Anyway, talking about picks on the side of Crown, on Titans, we do see the Azir come up again. I don't understand why Ibis isn't taking this. He took the Victor this time, which I do think will do a little bit better in lane against the Azir. But why not just take the Azir and force KRP on somebody like Twisted Fate or like the Victor and give Ibis one of his most comfortable champions? A little bit of a blurb there, or maybe they purposely did this. I guess we'll find out.
So yeah, something I definitely agree with you. They are giving the late game champions over to Titans, and it's a team that even if they are losing, they can stall it out to the late game and bring it out. You need to take a lot of these big picks. If they were to force KRP onto this Victor, I feel they would have a little bit of a better time with Ibis on the on the Azir. Something that they really have to get in on these games. However, we are going into the D-Lele. So 3 more minutes to talk about this. What do you think about this Rumble pickup in the jungle?
I mean, it's a really good pick. It was originally brought in by Rocks Tigers. The reason why I know that's because they're my favorite team, obviously. But yeah, originally brought in by Rocks Tigers in Korea. Peanut was playing it, and it was really, really well done. The reason why Rumble in the jungle became something that became a meta pick, not a meta pick, but just a pick in general, is because of the new jungle item. Obviously gives that movement speed as well, so that Rumble can keep up with the ganks and can originally his movement speed is pretty low, but now he can actually get into the lane and chase people down a lot easier. Then with the Flame Spitter, with the Thunderlords, you get that proc off really quick. It's a very strong pick with his Harpoon now in an ammo system. You can actually save it up for jungle camps. So yeah, overall, that's why Rumble became a jungle pick. Rumble, I just can't say it. But yeah, I do like it, and we've seen it before, and he did really well on it.
So something else that we've noticed, Detritus on this Sivir, he has been practicing it a whole lot. This is coming up in the meta. She got a very huge buff when they allowed the Ricochet auto attacks in order to crit. The wave clear that is coming out of Sivir is phenomenal. The damage that she can now throw out in these team fights is absolutely phenomenal. Not only that, but she has all the disengage and the engage from Full Metal Echo. She's got the spell shield. If any sort of Fate's Call were to catch her out, so there's so much innate safety on the side of Imperial Titans. They have innate safety and whole kinds of engage. This is going to be some scary team fights here for the side of Crown.
Yeah, something I wanted to point out from last game, kind of where they faltered, was their greedy item buys. There was no Frozen Heart, there was 2 Legions, there was a Guardian Angel, which are all items that are very greedy and focused on that one player. And I want to see Crown itemize a bit better in this game. When you get to a game to the point that we did last game, where it's into that 30-40 minute realm, you know, people are starting to complete their builds. What matters is your positioning in team fights and how you build. It's extremely important, and unfortunately, Crown just didn't build properly, in my opinion. So I'd like to see how they itemize, and if they itemize a little bit better in this game. And then with that, what they can do with their itemization. Also, another kind of problem that I see from on the side of Crown that you kind of already touched on was the engage. They don't have a ton of engage. They have the dredge line from Nautilus to kind of get you in there, and they have a flash knockup from Rek'Sai. Besides that, they don't have a lot of engage. You're not going to throw John in the middle of a fight. You're only going to use that Fate's Call to really save her. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But as we get into game 2, vote who you think will win. Hashtag Titans win or hashtag Crown win.
Sound muted.
Hello, I'm Bob Ross, and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your oil paints and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring up.
Let's get off the canvas and onto the rift. Here we go, guys. Game number 2 of this series. We're going to have, boom, overlay switched over, the Crowns again against the Titans.
Sound resumed.
And we got Swifter back with us.
Right.
Here we go, into the game. We already know the teams. We already know who they are, what they're here for. And we see a setup from the side of Imperial Crown going the same way with the line of scrimmage. They want to be able to catch out this full team invade that the Titans love doing so much. Clannon taking a little poke, just a tickle though as he moves back into top lane.
Yeah, I do like the line of scrimmage from Crown. You know, it's very well done, but after game 1 where Ibis had to blow his flash pretty early, they take a little bit more of a careful approach this time, get the wards down. We do have a ping battle going on, apparently. They're targeting the Nexus, which is good. You do have to eventually destroy that. I like the tip in game where it says if you're ever needing an extra 35 gold, kill the enemy Nexus. I like that.
Indeed, they do have a clear goal in mind. They know what they need to take with this game. Let's see if it pays off for him, Cotton. I mean, sorry, Swifter.
I did... Cotton. I did get corrected. It's 50 gold. Sorry, my bad. It's not 35. Apparently, I don't know how much gold you get from killing the next.
Well, it doesn't happen a lot when you're in gold. Oh, sorry.
Pardon?
Oh, I got that in there. Oh, yikes.
Oh, shots fired. Guys, don't be in gold. Blue will chirp you, apparently.
Yeah, flame.
We do see the same start as last time that we saw in the bottom lane. This time, Swifter and Sailor Venus do share the damage, so the support taking it all. But they do get the level 2 first. And I'm backing off Alistar and Sivir there.
Yeah, they've already got a whole lot of pressure to press up against this lane. However, in the top lane, seemed like a different story there from the start. We see the massive amount of regen that Clan is going to have in this top lane. The sustain is absolutely ridiculous on this Shen, and he's already completely filled back up his life from how much devastation that Merch has been able to throw down, and he's going to be taking a lot of damage from minions right here. Oh man, if Clannon would have only set up the taunt right there, he could have taunted him into that minion wave, and that might have actually been his death.
Yeah, something a lot of people underestimate in the early game is the fact that the minions do so much damage. And you saw right there, Merch took about 100 damage from the minions just because he autoed Clannon, so be a little bit more careful there. Something I want to give kudos to for Detritus, however, kind of switching to the bot lane, is Detritus has done a really, really good job at staying up in CS despite
Hold on, we got
being...
full Metal Echo going in. He finds the Headbutt Pulverize onto Sailor Venus. A lot of damage going down. They start to channel the teleport down on Merge. There goes the teleport down. We have the overheat here onto Patchling. He gets a whole lot of damage down. There goes the Boomerang Blade. And a very low health bars on the side of Crown's bot lane.
Oh, Merch went back. Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, Merch did TP back to... Oh no, he didn't TP back to lane. That's just from sustain. Wow, yeah. He got his TP cancelled, sorry, by the Shen taunt. He does push Clannon out of lane. Clannon has to blow his teleport to come back. So neither top laner has the TP right now. A little bit of trading going back and forth between the mid lane. But honestly, this mid lane is going to be more of a farm lane, more of a wet noodle fight.
Yeah, another great Headbutt Pulverize here coming out of Full Metal Echo. He knows what he wants. He knows they have a very weak bot lane. They can put out a lot of damage, but they cannot take a lot. He's going to take every advantage that he has in order to make some moves here onto these two ladies in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Full Metal Echo has shown he's been pretty good on Alistar as well. Whenever he doesn't get Morgana, he usually does go to that Alistar. First game we didn't see him go on the Alistar, but I do like his Alistar. I just like Alistar in general. He's a very strong support, especially if you take Windspeaker's Blessing. Obviously you get the AoE heal and the AoE armor buffs and magic resist buffs from it, so it's still pretty good despite them trying to nerf Alistar's heal a bit.
Yeah, I don't like Alistar. He's too OP. I'm not a fan at all, but we do have Voodoo here trying to find some action here in the bot lane. He is going to get pushed out. He's going to try to wait out the spell shield, but he's going to take Echo instead. There goes a lot of damage. There goes the Flash Rend. First blood going over to Swifta in the bot lane. Again, the bot lane repeating their performance from last game, and we have an early lead here from these ladies in the bottom lane.
Yeah, something that I just noticed is that Fullmetal actually opted into taking the Ignite over the Exhaust. Interesting, to say the least. I do like the Exhaust much better on Alistar, especially against a Callista, because you can exhaust that Rend. But we saw the Ignite there, and he actually didn't get to use it, obviously, because he died there. So almost in the exact same thing that...
And as Swifter lags out, we got a taunt going on in the bot in the top lane. A lot of damage down going on to Merch, but he is able to successfully dredge line himself out of there. Very, so far, lackluster ganks from the side of Patchling on this Rumble.
Yeah, the Rumble ganks aren't going to be too strong until he gets 6, or until he completes that jungle AP item. What is it called? Echo? It's just...
Runic Echoes.
Runic Echoes, yeah. Until he completes that, you know, his gank's going to be pretty lackluster. We'll see what he can do here.
Not a whole lot. Yeah, the amount of sustain that Merch is going to have on this Nautilus is going to be ridiculous. Can constantly put up those shields, constantly proc this Corrupting Potion onto Clannon. We see it's already keeping his health bar fairly low, but he's only reliant on energy right now. He's going to constantly keep his health bar full, be able to go back to base, or keep this lane pushed, go back to base, grab his items, and come back and keep playing to the side of Merch.
Like the chat, another first blood on Echo. It's a worrying trend. Yeah, it's a worrying trend. However, they did win last game when Fullmetal Echo actually got killed twice in a row. So maybe it's their plan. You know, give them a little bit of false hope.
False hope, the dream. Here we go. We got the shifting sands going in. Ibis there is pushed into Patchling with the Ember's Divide, and both of those harpoons are going to go straight into his face. First kill for Titans, going over to Lord Patchling.
Yeah, something that didn't come out there was the heal. There was no heal on the side of Ibis. I don't think he knew that the burst would come out that quick from Rumble. Because Rumble took Thunderlords, it's going to come out pretty quick. I don't think he expected that Thunderlords proc there, and he actually loses his life with his heal still up.
Yeah, it's definitely something that could have very easily been prevented, although that was an absolutely phenomenal play from KRP to use that Emperor's Divide to push him into his jungler, something that isn't often done, and I really like the way they executed that mid lane gank. But here we got Pudu. He's smelling blood in the water. He's found Clannon in the top lane, and whoa! Misses the mark on that tunnel. That was a very big misplay from the side of Crown. Very unfortunate.
Ignite comes out. Wow, that shield was absolutely beautiful from Jana. Actually stops the tip of that damage from Sivir coming out. Sailor Venus doesn't have 6 yet. So she couldn't do much, but she did save her fellow AD carry there.
Yeah, but again, we see in this bot lane, we have Swifta with the item advantage. He's got the kill advantage, but he's very low in this lane. He needs to go back to base in order to keep this advantage in their favor. They need to keep this pressure up, and if they want to win this game, the early game is the name of the game. Can they get it? Oh, Pudu is finding KRP, standing on top of his tunnel. He's going to flash into the river and get away from this. Very kind of mispositioned there by KRP. It's hard to say that was a good play, but he does keep his life in this one.
Yeah, KRP's his dash actually got canceled by the Rek'Sai on Burrow, so he had to blow his flash there. Flashless is you, definitely has to play careful. Patchling, I expect, will be around mid lane for the next little while, and we already are seeing that. Patchling kind of hover there. We do see the blue smite as well coming up from Rumble. Again, getting that slow, helping him out. You know, you get that slow on top of that flame spitter. It really is hard to get away from.
Yeah, the one thing you didn't notice, though, is this Dark Seal already looking to go over to the Magi's again. So much balls coming out of this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it if you're ahead, but you gotta be careful. And there, the flash unburrow from Pudu. He did predict the,
Yeah, very
you
well
call
played.
that.
Yeah, he picked out the shifting sands. Emperor's Divide
Yeah,
does go
there you
down to
go.
keep himself safe there.
Well played. Really good job for Pudu to kind of revisit the mid lane, and a lot of things. Oh, and we do have a gang coming in.
Wow, Patchling knowing exactly what to do there. The amount of slow that's coming out from that Equalizer with only level 1 boots, Ibis is not able to move off it. He takes so much damage, loses his life, and there goes some Dark Seal stacks over to Patchling.
Yeah, Ibis kind of just walked on it, and then unfortunately saw the heal still not being used. Not that the heal really would have saved him in that, but Ibis was kind of caught with his pants down there. If I'm Pudu right now as a jungler, you know, I want to help gank for your soul, or help ward for your mid lane, obviously, because Patchling and is going to try to get KRP ahead. So give your mid lane a little bit of help, ward for him. Maybe even Sailor Venus coming up, giving him a little ward here and there, making sure that Ibis stays safe because Victor is so immobile.
Yeah, but at this point in the game, he's 15 CS down. He's got 2 deaths in lane, so that is a significant amount of experience advantage that KRP has. When you're going up against a mid laner like this, you almost got to kind of count this lane as a loss and really start to shift your focus in a lot of these lanes that can be salvaged. Like bot lane, who's doing incredibly well.
Yeah, you've got quite a bit of a CS gap in the mid lane, but the bottom lane is making up for that. You know, 14 CS there as well. And we do have a little bit of a fight going on in the top lane. Not too much. Yeah, it's just so hard to kill Merch right now. You know, that E's on a 3 to 4 second cooldown. And on top of that, he's got the massive shield. You're really not going to kill the Nautilus unless you get help from Patchling. Or somebody else.
Yeah, we see Swift is going to be able to stop the backs here from this bot lane, keep him in there. He is able to successfully go back to base. Actually, did he go back to base right there?
No.
He did not. Yeah, so he just CS himself back up to health in lane. But he does still have quite an item advantage over to Tritus and Full Metal Echo here. I just really want to see some of these plays start getting made here from Imperial Crown.
Yeah, we're seeing KRP do the exact same build. And the exact same thing over and over again here.
Yeah, again, there goes another Emperor's Divide, but we have the Chaos Storm going on top of him. The Equalizer is going to shit. Oh, man. That Freudian slip could not have come out at a better time. It does absolutely shit on Pudu there in the mid lane. Equalizer coming out huge. They're going to trade 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, there's no really other words to describe Patchling's Rumble. He just literally shits on people. And we saw that there. Absolutely destroyed. He's got the 3 stacks. He's got 4 stacks on his Dark Seal, sorry. And he's going to come in and try to get a 4th here.
Already getting so much damage down. That Flame Spitter doing tons of damage. Ooh, especially those electro harpoons, too. He's just able to bully everybody out of these lanes already as a jungler. Man, once he gets that Magi's finish and starts really stacking up in this game, it's going to be incredibly scary for Imperial Crown.
I've never seen somebody that's not, you know, pro play this so properly. But we do have a little bit of a fight, nothing much there. And sorry, I was talking about the Rumble there. Play the Rumble so well. I mean, I've seen a lot of, you know, solo queue adventures. Some people try out the Rumble jungle, and just nobody has as much success on it as Patchling does. Is it ban-worthy over his Zac? I mean, I don't think so, but it's definitely showing here that it's scary.
Definitely scary it is. However, it doesn't bring a lot of utility in these team fights, and they can make these team fights go in their favor with very decisive moves. They really just have to make make some moves and actually make something happen in these games in order to stop the Rumble from snowballing forward. It's just something they haven't been able to do in these games so far.
Yeah, the scariest thing is going to be that Rylai's Crystal damage, the slow from KRP on top of the Rumble ult. You know, he's gonna be able to keep you on the ult, so it will do some more damage. Obviously, Rumble's gonna go full AP. It's gonna be really, really hard for Crown to even get off the ult, which is the main source of damage on this team.
Planner right here trying to keep up with Merch. Patchling is trying to make his way into the top lane, finds his way onto Merch. He's got the Chilling Smite down. He's got the Flame Spitter going down on top of it. He's going to drop the Equalizer. Gets a little welcome mat on the way out, but that Nautilus ultimate is going to do a ton of damage to Patchling. Voodoo trying to keep up, get a little bit of that damage down, and Ibis is going to finish him off in the top lane. There goes that Chaos Storm. He's going to go back onto Clannon, gets the knock up on the Unburrow, but they're not going to have the damage to finish him off, and Clinton is going to walk out of this lane. But KRP, he's coming up. He smells some blood in the kiddie pool. There he goes in, shifting stance. Emperor Divide is going to push right into Voodoo, and the Death Ray is going to finish him off. So much action going on in this top lane.
Yeah, really, really well played there by Ibis to kind of hold on to his Death Ray until the last second. Probably could have saved Voodoo there, but overall, 2 for 2, and they get the massive shutdown on the Rumble, and that's the thing they were looking for, is that shutdown on Rumble, stopping his Dark Seal from stacking, getting that extra gold. We see the gold is only 1k apart right now, and on the side, Crown does have the dragon, so it's basically even. We'll see if they can kind of close the gap a little bit more as we get into the mid game here.
We already see this very commanding lead coming out from the jungle on the side of Titans. They have a much bigger lead than they did the last game, and this is kind of scary going into a team that works really well in the late game. They have they have mostly a late game team too. I'm just not really sure what they're going to be able to do this game from the side of Imperial Crown.
Yeah, from Imperial Crown, at this point, you've got to look for those open areas to fight. Don't group up in the jungle, especially against a Rumble. Get Merch to split push. He has the ZZ Rot now. He can consistently push against this Shen. However, on the side of Titans, Shen is also getting the ZZ Rot. So it will be ZZ Rot for ZZ Rot, but Merch does still have the advantage for pushing because of that E.
Most definitely, and we already see he's going to build the ZZ Rot here in the top lane, so he's going to start having this lane pushed even more in his favor on Clannon. He's already got the 3 assists here. He's got the 50 CS lead onto Merch. It's really only a matter of time before this game starts snowballing in their favor, but we got KRP maybe caught here in the bot lane. He's got that Chaos Storm on top of him. There goes the Stasis Field. There goes that kill. Going over to Voodoo in the mid lane. Great gank there from Crown.
That was so smart. Voodoo predicted that was going to happen. He knew that KRP was going to go in. KRP has been doing that over and over and over again. He's basically been using his Emperor's Divide on cooldown to try to set up those kills. And Voodoo knew that was going to happen. He predicted it. Ibis set up the gravity field and the gank very well. And you saw them return a kill there. So even kills, just about a 300k gold lead, or 300 gold lead, not 300,000. And now they actually do grab the gold lead with the turret, so really well played by Crown. Good job at rotating to get that turret after the kill.
Definitely. So already starting to push this advantage even more into their favor. I like to see this back and forth that Crown can start showing signs of life in this game. They still have an advantage in the bot lane. They're starting to accrue a little bit of an advantage here in the mid lane. Where can they really make this happen? Full Metal Echo finding that headbutt pulverize there onto Swift. A lot of burst damage coming down from this bot lane team, but they're not going to be able to secure a kill off it.
Yeah, I don't know how much I really like the Shiv Rush on the Tritus. It does give them the wave clear, obviously. Usually, you know, you go Zeal, then you go Infinity Edge, and then you finish it. But we do have a fight here going on.
There we go, the Fate's Call on Sailor Venus, knocking up Full Metal Echo. Not the target they want to do. He does have the Unbreakable Will procced. He does start the... Excuse me, Stand United was started onto him, but it was interrupted. The Equalizer dropped by Patchling. taken down Sailor Venus a whole lot. Those Electro Harpoons, proc and Runic Echoes onto Swifta. A lot of damage down on this bot lane team. They are going to decide to stick around on this turret. Ibis is coming up from behind. So is KRP. A lot of damage down on the Swifta. Sailor Venus is going to try to burst that out. But we are going to have Ibis is going to drop the ultimate on top of Patchling. And so much damage is going to do. KRP really mispositioning right here. And we have all of Titan's 4 members going to drop in this engage.
Yeah, that was just Crown rotating better. Ibis got there a little bit quicker than KRP. Pudu knew exactly what to do. Pudu didn't have to burn his flash. He just tunneled and unburrowed on them. And then Merch got the TP behind them. Sailor Venus held onto her ult. She didn't use her ult to the very end there. It was just really, really well played. And they are looking really, really well right now. And they've taken a 3k gold lead early, which is exactly what you need to do against Titans. And this time, they don't have the Kog'Maw. So taking a gold lead early may actually be a little bit more legit than it was last game.
Definitely. So we already have the second Dragon Year. Do we see a repeat of what they did last game, where they constantly just cannot? They have very good early game jungle control. However, we already see they're starting to lack when it comes to the vision game. Not a lot is put out. They're going to be moving back into these lanes, and they're going to want to know where Patchling is rotating in this game. He hasn't been able to start stacking up his Dark Seal. They need to find something to do in order to keep him down. They can't let this Majai's finish and the stack start.
Yeah, something else that we didn't really talk about that I've kind of started to notice is that Titans have this almost the same problem that they did last game. They have 3 AP, then they have Sivir, who doesn't do a ton of AD damage compared to other ADCs. She still does a lot, but she also did grab the Static Shiv, which is more magic damage. So, again, can Crown itemize better for the magic damage? They already do have the Locket coming out of the side of Pudu. I expect more magic resist items to come out of Crown and see if they can stop this, stop the Titans team with the amount of magic damage they have.
But one thing that we made a note of last game is that we needed to see a Frozen Heart come on the side of Imperial Crown. We already see Merch with the Sheen in the top lane. This is telling us it's going to be a Frozen Gauntlet, not a Frozen Heart. What are you doing? We do not need damage on your team. You have plenty. We need you to be tanky and keep throwing out this CC. We need cooldowns from you to keep the CC flowing. Not exactly the item pickup I wanted to see from Crown.
Yeah, that's a good point. Pudu's not going to build it, obviously, because it gives the mana. He doesn't really need it. I mean, you might see Pudu build it, probably not. Merch is the person who's going to build this. I mean, it's not the best on Janna. Sure, she can build it, but you don't really want her to. You want Merch to build the Frozen Heart so that Merch can get just sit on the Azir and sit on the Sivir, who both also rely on attack speed. It's something that they lacked in the first game, so we'll see in the second game if we have a little bit of a different story. Maybe they'll get it in the next couple minutes if they'll clue in.
Yeah, so something I want to point out is that the very quick static Shiv that's coming out from AD carries now, I've seen it's a very common build now to actually, instead of going from Zeal, going from BF Sword to Zeal and then finishing IE, it is now more common to finish the static Shiv into the IE afterwards.
Oh, okay.
To be completely honest, I'm not 100% sure why. I do believe that the stats that Static Shiv give now, and especially the amount of wave clear that it offers, in a meta that incredibly favors wave clear, I see the decision. So I think that's exactly why Detroit is going for what he's going for.
Yeah, another little bit of a wet noodle fight coming in. However, Patchling is coming up from the backside. Merch does have his flash.
Taunt. The Chilling Smite goes down, but wow, what a great dredge line there from Merch. Lands at max range in order to get out of that fight.
Really well played. I mean, he burned the ult, he had to burn the flash, but he got away and he didn't die. And that's exactly what they need Merch to do right now. They just need Merch to not die. They need Merch to keep Clannon up there. He has a ton of CC to stop Clannon's ult, which is great. I mean, all Nautilus has to do is auto Clannon. It can stop the Stand United. So Nautilus is a really, really good pick into Shen. And he's playing it really well. He's not dying, and that's all Crown needs him to do right now, is not die and build Frozen Heart.
And build a Frozen Heart, right indeed, but we do already see the Glacial Armor started. He still has that Shiv, or excuse me, the Sheen. Definitely going to be the Frozen Gauntlet. But is that going to help
Yeah.
him to actually win these trades in the top lane? If he can't make a difference in these team fights, he's going to have to make a difference here in these top lane trades.
Yeah, but you know what? You don't need him to win these trades. You really don't want. You don't need your Merch getting a bunch of solo kills. All you need Merch to do is push this wave over and over and over again, and he's doing just that against Clannon. You do see him down by 8 ACS, but he's actually still keeping up with this Shen. Down a level and 8 ACS, and he's not struggling too much.
Yeah, not struggling too much at all. He's got 80 CS on him. It's absolutely insane at this point in the game. He is over the 10 CS per minute mark. Just doing absolutely insane on the economy for the side of Imperial Titans. But we do have a huge engage here in the mid lane. The Emperor's Divide going down on a KRP. Tons of damage down on the Ibis. And that Equalizer is going to help KRP finish it off in the mid lane.
Yeah, just for the chat who's wondering about the CS leads and everything, they're a little bit inflated, obviously, because you do get those CS kills for the minions that come out of the ZZ rots. So the top laners' CS are going to be inflated right now. You know, Shen probably wouldn't have 300 CS if there wasn't a ZZ rot. But nonetheless, it's still 300 CS, so still very well done by Clannon.
Oh, I just realized, okay, so the Voidlings do count as a CS.
Yes, yeah, the Voidlings do count.
Oh, okay. That's really weird, yeah, especially considering they don't give gold. Huh. Okay, so yeah, because I was actually just thinking about that, and yeah, I noticed the... Whatever, so definitely inflating the stats. I guess that's why it's showing him being so much over the 10 CS per minute mark. I doubt that would actually happen otherwise.
Yeah, it's just like if you face a Yorick or anything, if you kill his ghouls, they all count as CS. So if you ever face a Yorick and you wonder why your CS is so good, you don't deserve Challenger, you're just against a Yorick.
Oh, wow.
Calling people out, you know?
Flamed. You're dirty Yorick players. Anyway, going back to this game, we see a lot of items starting to get completed. Patchling still holding on to his Dark Seal. A really a fighter build here coming out from Ibis. He's going ahead and grabbing the Lichbane and the Abyssal Scepter. Against a full AP team like this, I could definitely see that for him building up these defenses while still going offensive in his build.
Yeah, I like the Lichbane. It's always a situational item. You don't always have to build it. I like how we've been focused on this top lane the whole time. Like, the directed camera just doesn't want to switch, apparently, even though there's somewhat of a drag going down in the bot lane. There we go. Okay, now it switches. Alright, I'll wait to get back on my point here.
Ooh, Pudu just barely misses the steal. He's going to take a headbutt pulverize and have to flash back out of that engage. Equalizer going down, going to get a lot of damage. They were looking at KRP right there. They wanted to get him into this fight. They find the taunt onto Ibis. They find the headbutt pulverize. KRP finds